So with you running into people, does that kind of change the way you have to intentionally get your energy back?
Yeah, well, I sometimes go to movies alone, and some people think that's weird, but I'm just like, no, I just want to go by myself. But it is, like, I'm trying to be more mindful, because, like, as my channel has been growing, for every, like, person that does say something to me, I wonder how many people recognize me but don't. So it's like this weird sense of, like, I have to kind of be aware of what I'm doing in public, because it's starting to get to that point where I can't just, like, I'm becoming more like public figure-y, which is kind of weird.
Wait, what? Dude, did you just make that up? Oh man, I have questions. Hey, it's Meredith for Real, the Curious Introvert. Listen each week as I talk with someone new. The topics are as ADD as I am, but they'll inspire you to stay curious and grow. Big thanks to our location sponsor, the UWF Historical Trust. This Pensacola YouTuber has 37,000 subscribers and has devoted his channel to commentary on movies, hometown humor, and Christianity. Watch Exposing the Most Corrupt Church in Pensacola. That's how I found our next guest, because I love that video. Not only is his content funny, but it's also thoughtful. Since he still works a regular job and we do live in a relatively small town, he sometimes runs into fans. So today we're going to discuss what it's like to be an introvert and a public figure as well as the creative process. Stay to the end where he will share some tips for small YouTubers who are just getting started. Hometown enthusiast, Team Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, fellow overthinker, Holden Hardman, everyone.
Yeah,
Ta-da! You're welcome.
Quite an introduction. I feel so flattered. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, you never thought that you'd have Team Chick-fil-A as part of your accolades.
Yeah, I mean, I stand by that choice, after trying them both, give them both a fair shot between Popeyes, so.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So let's start by kind of defining what kind of introvert you feel you are, because there's a lot of definitions on introvert, and if you're anything like me, if you share with someone that you're an introvert, they argue with you, and you're like, dude, really? Like, I know what I am. Please don't argue with me. So define your introversion, my friend.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of times people see me on YouTube and being kind of goofy and out there with close friends, and they think that I'm crazy and stuff, but really I'm very much like, I'm the type of introvert where I draw my strength in being alone, I just need that time to recharge. It's not that I don't like being around people or going out and having fun or whatever. It's just that sometimes I'm just not in the mood for it, and sometimes it can be really draining. That's the kind that I am. So yeah, that's me.
That's me too. It doesn't mean, do you feel like your introversion means that you have a shyness about you or soft-spoken?
I probably do to some extent. I know when I'm with somebody that I trust, like a good friend, I can be a lot more, me. But when I'm put into a position of being around people that I just don't know, I very much am like shy and quiet, and I've tried to really work on it. But for example, I'm working from home right now. I had a meeting, over the phone with everybody at like 9 a.m. And some of my work people know that I do YouTube, and some of them don't. And they were like, so Holden, were you making any videos during the quarantine? I was like, oh my God, please stop talking about this. I was just embarrassed. But I was like, yeah, I have been. Anyway, so.
That's funny. So what's that like when you run into people, or like your lives, if you will? You have like your YouTube life, and then you have your work life, and then your personal friend life. What happens to you as an introvert when those start crossing?
It's, I went to Target. I left the house after about 3.5 days from the virus, and I went to Target to get some stuff. I was with Matt and got recognized twice.
That's awesome.
And the first guy, he didn't, like, a lot of the times they might recognize me. They'll see a video I did like 6 months ago. They'll recognize me, but they don't know my name. So they'll be like, you did something about a pizza or something in town, right? And I was like, oh yeah, that was me. But sometimes they know, my name. But it's cool. I try and chat and be, let's talk about this one video I did 8 months ago that I'm trying to remember a little bit better. But it's very cool. It's very flattering. And if I ever get too big of an ego, my friends are very quick to be like, Holden, you suck. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I do suck. So they keep me humble.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. As my introvertedness how my introvertedness comes out is definitely taking my energy from being alone. But sometimes I enjoy like solo outings where I will go to Target, for example, like when it's not busy and quiet, and I'll like shop alone, and that can be like a energy giving thing. Yeah. So with you running into people, does that kind of change the way you have to intentionally get your energy back?
Yeah, well, I sometimes go to movies alone, and some people think that's weird, but I'm just like, no, I just want to go by myself. But it is, like, I'm trying to be more mindful, because, like, as my channel has been growing, for every, like, person that does say something to me, I wonder how many people recognize me but don't. So it's like this weird sense of, like, I have to kind of be aware of what I'm doing in public, because it's starting to get to that point where I can't just, like, I'm becoming more like public figure-y, which is kind of weird.
So more picking your nose in public.
Exactly. Like, I can't. Eventually, I'm going to be like on TMZ, and I'm going to be like in one of these like.
That would be amazing.
But yeah, so it does kind of suck that I have to kind of just be aware of what I'm doing and what I'm saying, and but it is what it is, I guess.
Another quality of introverts that I meet, I'm not sure if it's all introverts, but a lot of the introverts that I know, and myself included, are overthinkers.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember watching one of your videos, actually was in the interview with Travis.
Oh, okay.
A fellow YouTuber, podcaster person. Yeah. And you had said that you tend to be an overthinker as well. Because you have this creative content that you regularly put out, what's your process to quit circling and do the thing?
It's something I call upload phobia. It's like whenever I work on a video, especially one that might be not controversial, but a little edgier, I'm always like, I don't know, maybe I should take that part out, or maybe I should take it, But because I'm always working on like 3 or 4 videos at any given time, my mentality is even though I don't know how people are going to respond, just post, and then I'm already working on the next one. So even if that one's bad, in 2 days I got another one going up. And, I don't want to let my anxiety, I guess, control what I do. So I act in spite of it, and that took a lot of practice. So even though I'm an overthinker, I'm still going to act.
I imagine having 2 or 3 videos at a time would probably help with that, because, like you said, it's like your built-in recovery system, but also it kind of pushes you out the door, if you will.
Yeah, so I can get that one down, and and I'm already working on the next one by the time people are commenting and interacting on that one.
Do you ever have trouble with people that are less than positive on YouTube? Does it affect you a lot, or?
Yeah. Luckily with the way that my channel is structured, most of it is positive. Sometimes, I wish I could be like, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't even know these. But sometimes it does bother me. It just depends. I'm a lot better about I don't get into arguments and never-ending comment threads of people arguing or anything. It depends on the comment. Sometimes if something is just straight up, that's not fair, or that's very blatantly out of context, and you're straw-manning my argument, I'll give one response, and that's it, and I just let it go from there. And luckily, with the way my channel is now, any response that they may have that might be mean kind of gets drowned out in the other sea of comments, which is a good problem, I guess, now, but it didn't used to be that way, because I would see every single, you suck, Holden, so. Yeah,
I never thought of that as a side effect of growth, that, the bad comments would just be drowned out by the sea of other comments, and it would matter less in a way.
Yeah. It sucks first starting out, where you pay attention to every single like and dislike and every single comment, and those comments, as small that they may be, just are so heavy and have so much weight. And I mean, it's just evolving now, where there's just so many, and one bad one doesn't hurt as much as it used to. Well, you're speaking from the soul now.
Preach.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has been in the last, 8 months that your channel has grown?
Yeah, I would say 2019 was the biggest year of growth. And then the end, like literally the 31st of December, when that Star Wars video with Matt randomly got picked up by the algorithm. So I ended 2019 on a very high note.
That's awesome. Well, even when I wrote your intro, I had to redo it because it was like 36,000. And then, we had, because of COVID-19, we had to push our date back. And a week later, when I was just going over my notes, I was like, wait a minute, this isn't accurate. It's probably not even accurate right now. But that's not
a little higher now.
Oh, great. I know when you say a little higher, it's probably like 3,000 more higher.
This is me getting into my own. This is why I have friends like, Holden, you suck. No, it's a little bit higher. But it's a little higher.
It's just.
Don't worry about it. I'm very grateful. It's a super humbling experience, and it's nice to finally feel like validated, having done YouTube for so long, and then getting 10 views, 15 views a video that I worked so long on. So now I'm like, to getting the numbers I've always wanted. So I'm just very happy. I don't mean to come across as being like, big-headed about it. I'm so excited where I'm at right now.
No, that's amazing. How long have you been doing YouTube?
Consistently about 3 years now. But I've been doing videos since I was 11, 12 and posting them on different channels with friends, and they're garbage. Don't look them up, please. But consistently, like when it comes to being a content creator, they always say consistency is the biggest thing. Mm-hmm. So I made a personal commitment to myself 3 years ago to make at least one video per week, period, no matter what. And I've stuck with that. And sometimes I'll try and do like 2 or 3, but at minimum 1. And so I've been doing that, whether I got 15 views, no views, and it's just it's a marathon. It really is. And now it snowballs too. So like the growth from 0 to 1,000 subscribers was the longest like drudgery ever. And then 1 to 2,000 was a little bit faster, and then 2 to 3 was faster, and now it's just growing, and I'm stoked.
That's amazing. And your goal or dream is to be able to dedicate all your time to YouTube, not be able to work or have to work another job, correct?
Yeah, I would love to do it full time. I think we had talked, previously about the hospital I was working at. I was working for this company, and we lost our contract at the hospital. And so I inadvertently ended up losing my job. And the YouTube money that I was making just like cushioned the fall a lot, so I wasn't just left with nothing. And for a little bit, I was like, maybe this is the time I just need to focus on YouTube and do that. And so I did. It still wasn't quite enough to be livable. So I ended up getting a job at the same hospital, actually. Doing the same thing, because I had friends that worked for them directly, so they got me on. Thanks, guys. But yeah, I would love to do it full time, and I'm getting a little bit closer, but I'm not quite there yet.
Hey everyone, just a quick interruption to show gratitude to our sponsors and give you some special deals. The UWF Historical Trust. We shoot the show in the Museum of Commerce and the T.T. Wentworth Museum. And not only is this an amazing step back into the 18 and 1900s, but it's an event space too. How cool is that? You can see everything at historicpensacola.org. If you want to tour one of the 12 museums, and yes, Pensacola has 12 museums, and you get your tickets in person, show the ticket agent one of my emails and you'll get $2 off an adult ticket. You can get emails by texting REAL to 66866. So I don't have kids, but I also want to tell you about It's Your Magazine. They're a national family-centered publishing company with free parent magazines. They have parenting advice, events, and inspiration. I'm actually in a networking group with the publisher, and this guy is all about family. You can view a free magazine in cities in Texas, Oregon, Washington, and Florida by checking them out at itsyourmagazine.com. And INSEC. So I've always felt iffy about pesticides. Then the mosquitoes got so bad, I would get covered in them from walking from my house to the car. I called INSEC, and to say I've been impressed is an understatement. When the treatment wasn't quite doing it, the owner actually came to my house. He found the breeding sites, identified the species of mosquito, and adjusted my treatment to that species. That's when I found out he's also a beekeeper, and pollinator issues are always top of mind. So if you're in the Florida Panhandle or Gulf Coast of Alabama, give him a call, ensec.net. And Dexafit Pensacola. So new thought, the scale is just your relationship with gravity. Now when I get on my scale and me no likey, I say, you don't know me. What does know me is the 3D body comp scan. I can see what I'm made of and what's right for my body. Plus, when you get a Dexafit scan, you also get a consultation, because what good is data if you don't know what to do with it? After you know, you can make your fitness plan smart, like Expert Level 5000. Also, look this up on YouTube. It's pretty awesome. Dexafit.com. Now back to the show. Do you think when you are a full-time YouTuber, your schedule as it relates to your introvertedness will change? And what I mean by that is like, when I worked another job and, had several hats, and 2 of the 3 hats, let's say, involved interacting with other humans, it was like, it changed my energy. It changed what I did at the end of the day, because I didn't want to go out with friends. I just wanted to stay home and watch Netflix or clean out a closet or just be quiet, and because I needed that recharging. Do you think that full-time YouTuber land will cause you to be like, hey guys, you want to go meet up at a brewery suddenly?
Yeah. I mean, it's everybody, whether you're introverted or extroverted, we're social creatures, you know what I mean? So even like with the virus thing now and being, quarantined for so long, I think I probably would be like, guys, is anyone out there, please? And that's natural for, any introvert or extrovert. But I definitely will spend some time I'm just going to watch Netflix and just be by myself. But every once in a while I'll be like, is anyone still there?
Yes, especially like you said, during quarantine, COVID-19, my own introvertedness, my idea of it has been challenged, because I find myself going outside for something, probably just fresh air. Oh, the neighbor's outside. When in God's name would I ever go out of my way to talk to the neighbor? Never. That's when I never would do it. And now I'm like, hey there, I like your shoes, and it's really interesting. But then when I have like more than 2 video chats scheduled for one day, I'm like, whoa, this stuff needs to settle down, because I'm way overwhelmed. I need some me time. So it's funny, the back and forth that this odd set of circumstances has put all of us in.
Yeah. Sometimes, like my job, because I'm working from home, I have to call people. And I was like, please just let me work like spreadsheets. Like, let me just do that kind of backache and stuff. And so, like, every time I call somebody, I'm like, all right, here we go. Are they going to be rude or nice? I don't know. Here we go. Here's the lottery. And I just hate it. I just hate it. But it's okay. I mean, for those of that don't know, I work in insurance. So I talk to people exclusively that don't have healthcare coverage, and I try and give them coverage. So usually I bring good news,
right?
Either good or neutral news. But sometimes people, they don't trust me, and fair enough, they don't know who I am calling or what my motivations are. But it's just always a gamble, and I'm always getting like anxiety. I just want to get that part of the day done early so I can do other things.
And you find YouTube kind of like it's life-giving. It's like therapy.
Yeah, like the creative aspect of it, because I'm not performing in front of it. Well, I am performing in front of an audience, I guess, but it's very much me and the one person, or me and just the camera, and I can edit out any gaps that I just overthink too much or something. So there's a lot of that. So to me, I'm just talking to my one friend, the viewer. It just happens to be thousands of them,
right?
Which is cool.
That's very opposite of how I feel, which is funny. I love comparing notes with other introverts, because you only have your own perspective, generally. You only live in one perspective, so you have to investigate other people's perspectives, right? And I did a solo episode for the podcast, and it was so challenging because I didn't have the other person's energy. It was on me. Yeah. And I have made other videos before for training purposes, and it was not a big deal, probably because I was imagining the other person. But I had such a hard time. But when I'm with someone, talking like we are right now, it's like, it's really not about me, it's about you. So I love like, oh, that's showcasing Holden, yay. But when it's like me and the camera, it's a way different vibe.
Yeah. I remember starting to do videos forever ago. And I remember the first time, this is what I hear from like a lot of starting out YouTubers, is they'll have all these ideas and things they want to do, and they want to make content like so-and-so, and then they set up and they go through the effort of putting the camera there, you know, putting lights up or whatever, and then just being like, hey guys, no, that sounds stupid. How's it going, everyone? Oh no, that's awful. Like, you know, they just get in their own head, and then it's just weird talking to a camera.
It is
never
weird.
done it before. For me, what I did is I started just like scripting out. I just started writing what I wanted to say, and then memorizing it, and then going and seeing how that was. And I still do that sometimes to an extent, but I'm much more like natural about just bullet pointing some stuff that I want to say. Sometimes I still will script out like the church video if I know it's a sensitive topic and I need to be very, very meticulous about what I say and how I say it. Stuff like that I'll actually script out verbatim and go from there. But yeah.
Do you feel like a lot of other YouTubers are introverts as well?
I think a lot of them are. I think PewDiePie, the #1 YouTuber in the world, he's talked about his introvertedness and stuff before. And he's, I don't know if you've ever seen him actually, but how crazy he's on camera. But he's always by himself or with his wife. And I'm similar. Like when I'm with just like my close-knit circle of friends, we can be as goofy or whatever as we want. But once we're out in the public, and I've shot videos out in the public before, and I'm just like, I feel so uncomfortable right now. And out of context, like depending on something weird that we're doing, out of context. Oh, this is a hilarious one. I was poking fun at like street preachers. This is gonna sound bad out of context. But I was kind of poking fun at street preachers, and so we actually went outside to do the bit, you know, and I'm mic'd up, and he's like way far down the street filming me. And the cars are actually passing by, and I'm saying like really weird stuff. And I was like, I'm trying to get through like this 30-second little monologue. I'm like, okay, how was that? And he was like, no, the camera was shaky. We got to do it again. Dang it! I want to go. But anyway,
that's funny. YouTubers out in the wild.
Yes.
That could be the next Instagram account. YouTubers in the wild instead of influencers in the wild. You said that you had some like tips or advice for people just starting off on YouTube. And I would love to hear those just out of curiosity, but I would also love to hear them because I think right now there's like a lot of YouTubers being born, no?
Yeah. I feel like with like TikTok coming out, I'm like, is that going to be like the new thing? And I feel like old because I'm like, I don't want to do that. That's what the kids are like looking at these days. So maybe YouTube will be old hat eventually, but I think this is a good time to start on YouTube. I don't know if you remember like when the adpocalypse happened after the whole Logan Paul thing. For those of some,
yeah, no, please enlighten me and anybody else that may not know.
This was a huge deal for YouTubers. So you used to be able to get monetized. So what that means is you can run ads on your video to make some money. For those of us that were smaller, we'd make like 2 cents a month, because nobody would really watch. Logan Paul, who's a bigger YouTuber, did something bad, and YouTube's response was to take away our monetization unless you met a threshold of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So I lost my monetization at the time because I didn't meet that. And
they didn't grandfather you in?
They sure didn't. Nope. I lost it. So all of these small YouTubers lost their monetization, or they were like, I'm never going to reach those numbers, And so a lot of people quit. And I kept going because I just loved making videos. And so once I did reach that threshold, it was just really nice. And I think a lot of the competition fell away. And I think the reason a lot of people don't get into making YouTube videos that may want to is because they're putting all this effort into it, working for hours on videos, and then virtually nobody watching it. It can be really disheartening. And that's sad. So my philosophy was that I wouldn't put all this effort into working with videos that nobody would watch. So I was like, I just need to make videos for me, videos that I would want to see and that I want to make, and it's practice, because the videos I was making a year ago, I don't think are as good as the ones I'm making now. And in a year from now, looking back, I hope that my videos will be even better. So I just kept with it because it's stuff that I wanted to make. And luckily, I've maintained that mentality. Just now people are actually watching, which is a great feeling.
That's a perfect pairing of the two, because you have joy from the mere doing of it, but you also have success and traction.
Yes. Yeah, really nice.
So if you were going to give some young YouTubers some more pointers, or maybe like even mistakes to avoid, does anything come to mind?
Yeah, consistency. That's the biggest thing. I think being honest with yourself about the quality of your content. But I see a lot of the time people will, or as early starting on, I made this video and I think it's so good, and it's YouTube's fault for not sharing it as much. And then you watch it and you're like, it's really not that great, And I had to be really honest with my videos and be like, these really aren't good. I see why people aren't watching them. The retention time is so low, and then just get better. Things to avoid is spamming your videos on Reddit and heavily on social media, because my audience is not necessarily my friend group or my coworkers. I have a very specific audience, and it may not be your parents or your friends, and that's fine. You know what I mean? Just keep with it, I would say.
Those are all great tips.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Yeah. Papa Holden in the house.
Yeah.
Well, where can people find you on YouTube or otherwise if they want to keep up with your antics?
Yeah, YouTube is just my name. It's Holden Hardman.
Which is your real name, by the way, right?
It is my real name. Yeah, some people, I guess, don't think that it's my real. I guess I got a good name for YouTube, I suppose.
You do.
Or a porn star, Holden Hardman. Anyway. And Instagram, I think it's Holden T Hardman. It's my middle initial thrown in there. And then Twitter is HT Hardman. So there's no consistency across the board. So make sure you're not consistent. That's what you need.
Right. So about that tip number 3, be consistent. Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do.
Consistently upload on YouTube. I really do need to be more on my social media, but I've fallen away from social media a lot, and really just focus on YouTube. So that's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Well, I think that being focused like that can have a lot of benefits. So you're not trying to spread yourself thin, and you're concentrating on the audience that you have. So I'm watching. I'm taking notes.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This has been a great chat, and I appreciate it so much. Stay safe, stay sane, try to be social.
You too.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. Are you still listening? Just kidding, of course you are. Since you're here, here's some ways you can support the show. Stalk me on social media, leave a review, share an episode with a friend, or check out my Teespring page for delightfully sarcastic apparel. Links are in the episode description.